Live in 3, 2, 1. Live roll call session. Go to bright. Late and live, everybody. Hi. Oh my gosh. Madness this week. Okay. I need to, that light was bright. Do the chat live. Welcome to roll call live session. All right. So I'm just driving in from New Jersey. I'm trying to get myself together. I was not rolling. I was rolling around the Northeast. Went all the way to Memphis. Not Memphis. Maine. Thank you. Went all the way to Maine. Cal, so hi. So good to see you. Let me roll call you in. Cal is in the building. Oh my gosh. So, I have to be the one to pick the tour bus, okay? So, I wasn't rolling. I wasn't rolling. Can you believe it? No, you can believe it. I wasn't rolling. In fact, I was rolling around state to state looking for the tour bus, okay? So that's what's going on. Tanya, help me. I am exhausted. How you doing? Oh my gosh. I need a drink. I have my favorite. It's my favorites. Frangelico. Ooh, do I have any biscotti left?
Sure do.
Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to, okay, so I need some coffee and my biscotti. And I'm going to put some Frangelico inside. And my biscotti was homemade in, where were we again? New Jersey. Somewhere in New Jersey. If we find a card or something, I'll let you know where it was. These were the biggest biscotti I have ever seen. And the minute she lifted the lid, the anise just swooped over me.
Silver
blew me away. It's so good. Huh?
Silver Coin Diner.
Silver Coin Diner in Hamilton, New Jersey. It was the one good thing, huh? Hamilton or Hamilton? I think it's Hamilton, New Jersey. So, anyways, we went looking for a bus. Can I vent? Can I vent for a second? Can I just okay? Because I just have some things to say. When people know that you are looking for something and that you need something, okay? And I've been trying to not act like I really, really need this bus, but I do really need this bus. But, I go in, keep it mellow, keep it calm. And I just, looking at the products and asking my questions. And they know that you're a serious buyer. And then all of a sudden they start playing these games. Like, I'm too old for this shit. Like, can you just tell me what the fuck it is? What the fuck I'm dealing with? You got me driving all over God's fucking creation, trying to get what I need, and you're just trying to take advantage of me. You're just seizing opportunities, looking for cracks and crevices where you can get into my membrane and extort my mind and my money. I don't like that shit. I just need to say that. Because tell me why, okay? Tell me why we went to go see this bus yesterday. We're about to buy this bitch today. And it rained today. And the universe was out looking out for me and stuff. And it was raining in the bus. Tell me why. Tell me why that is. Tell me why the windows and the ceiling and the seats, everything was fucking pouring. And it's supposed to be a dealership? Are you fucking kidding me? Ooh, I ought to tell who you are. Ooh, I ought to tell. I might still tell. I ain't even trying to play. Do you know how many times we made trips up there thinking about it, dreaming about it, where we gonna put the lab, where we gonna hang the leaf, where everybody gonna sit, where we gonna put the bar, like all this extra going on in my head, right? Now we get there today to pay the money. Oh, universe was looking out, honey. Whew. I was trying to vent. I'm sorry. Oh, yes. Universe was with us. And then he had the Tanya, he had the audacity to say, well, you noticed there was water damage, didn't you? No, the fuck, we didn't notice no damn water damage. We was feeling on everything was hard. It was sunny. It was bright. Everything was dry. The heck? When it leaked, there wasn't a lick of rust on this used bus. Nicely used bus. Not a lick. For all the rain that was coming up in that bitch, should have been 2 inches deep with rust. But there wasn't. Somehow there just wasn't. We looked for the signs. We looked underneath. Kirk got all up underneath of there and was crawling on the fucking gravel and shit. Yo, I can't tell you how the ancestral mob just wanted to reach on back in and pimp slap that mofo. He knew that shit was leaking. He knew it was leaking. We asked, was there any leaks? We asked. No, there are no leaks. This bus is dry. You're right. It's dry as some red wine, honey. But today, I was whining like a big crying baby. Oh. So the duress that I am under, okay? Because you stole time from my station. You stole time from my dreams, from my creativity, from the gazillions of, I can't even show you, the gazillions of floor plans that I have had to make, okay? Every time we have to find a new bus. And just when we think it's the bus, just when we think it's the one, something either goes wrong with the deal or something goes wrong with the bus. So yeah, I'm sorry I had to vent like this to you today. But I'm exhausted. I'm tired of ripping and running up and down the coast, you know? And I'm not going online to look at something in Beaufort, California. Like, I'm not going over there. Oh, I really do need this drink. Open up. Ugh, that's the one thing with Frangelico. The sugar in it does often cake and kind of act like a glue. So you have to be careful or you can break the neck. So... it should not be this complicated. But it's complicated today. Here you go. Thank you. So I'm in my unusuals today.
Where's the camera?
It's right here. Okay. Oh, thank you. I get my fancy cup.
Got it?
Yes. Thank you. Oh, look at my cup, everybody. Can you see? Can you see my little cup? Yeah. And isn't this just the biggest biscotti ever? What? Yo, it's amazing. So while we were driving up in Maine, we did have some amazing seafood in Massachusetts. Amazing. Like, if you want real seafood, you got to go up to Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Maine. I wanted to stop in Connecticut, excuse me, with the oh, you're opening the Frangelico? Okay, great. Hang on. Let me show you how to do biscotti. For those of you who may not know, or who are on and know, and those of you who may come and visit later and don't know, so let me show you how to do biscotti. So you have your coffee like so, right? And you take your biscotti and you dip it into your coffee just a little bit. You just put the head in a little bit. And then, oh my God. I need my Frangelico. Ooh. Oh my God, that is so good. Just the coffee and the anise and the almond and vanilla. It's just amazing. I'm gonna put this down so I get my Frangelico and make this coffee do what it do. And then I need to get smoke. I need to roast something. So I hope you all had a great week. I hope it was better than mine. And I'm not gonna say it was all bad because, like I said, the seafood was marvelous. The biscotti was great. I'm spending way too much money trying to get the tour on the road, okay? Way too much. But what I will say is this. We have learned a lot of valuable lessons. Never buy a used vehicle without putting it through the car wash or buy it on a rainy day. Just to make sure, because people be lying, okay? Just looking you in your face, in your eyes, smiling at you, and fucking you over at the same fucking time.
Not the cat.
Oh, yes. Just a little drop will do you. No. Just a little drop will do you. Yes. And you just take your biscotti. Huh? Give it a little swirl. Oh, yeah. Look at that. You see that? Yeah. So this is true fresh biscotti. It will be a little on the soft side, not like the ones that rip the gums off the roof of your mouth. You know those ones? Yeah. I'm telling you. I'll put the remainder in my fancy glass. It's my glass for today. Pretty. Yeah. Yes. You know, preach, Tanya. Preach. I can't feel it. But can I say I was kind of feeling it? I was kind of feeling it. But in all the wrong ways, hunty. I was like, fuck up the ass instead of, I was not happy. I was not happy. So, I'm just glad that the universe protected us from making the wrong move. Because, shit would have got hella serious. My brother's serving time right now. And I would have been like, we would have been like cellmates. It'd have been like, yo, fat boy, this your people? And we'd be like, yeah. Anyways, the whole thing is, if we'd have been coming back here into the rain and it wasn't raining in New Jersey and it was raining here and it decided to rain on us while we were driving back, Tanya, honey, a whole nother side of the sister would have been showing her ass. Okay. So, it's going to be back in the lab with beautiful people, beautiful soul. But please pray that the universe get us on a straight way. Thank you for all the lessons. Appreciate all of the experience. Time is of the essence. Okay? I have shit to do on the table. We need to get the bus locked in and keep it moving. Okay? Because we still have to create the environment. So I have to create the environment and the experience. So I was going to make it to Maryland tonight to see an RV down there. The idea, let me just try to clue you in a little bit on, thank you. The glass is nice, right? Yeah. A little bit. The nuttiness of the Frangelico with the anise and the almond. It's just so lovely together. Okay. I'm all about pairing, right? Palate pairing. And so I highly recommend, even if you have the almond bliss, or what I now call almond amaretti. A few years back, I called it almond bliss, but I've changed the profile a little bit because my tea supplier went out of business. So I had to kind of reconstruct the almond bliss into almond amaretti. As a result, that happened sometime last year. But this still goes marvelously with the almond amaretti. And it's much like this experience where you would have the biscotti and, pair that with your Frangelico, which is highlighting the hazelnut flavor profile. So just beautiful. And if you put it in your coffee in the morning, evening, after dinner, however you want to enjoy your cafe, it's just amazing. So let me put this over here. So anyways, enough life lessons. Can we just get this bus? I want to tell you a little bit about it. Tell you a little bit about the experience, because like tonight is totally, I haven't had time to think about this day. So we literally raced down the highway so that I wouldn't like not do this, even though I have failed in every other area this week. At least I would have been here for this and been here for you all. Okay. So, oh, by the way, the inside of my cup says, focus. Oh yeah. Let me tell you about that. It says yum. Isn't that so cool? It says yum. So let me tell you, I'm over the camera thing. Here it is. That cam thing, I'm over it. I'm sending it back. I can't. Okay. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's the computer's fault. Maybe it's the camling's fault. It's probably my fault. Okay. I am technologically inept. I am not very user-friendly with technology. Okay. And it might be user-friendly, but I am not user-friendly to it. Okay. Because I will just beat a computer down. Okay. I'll just like bang these keys and be mad. So it's just not going to work. So I'm going to instead take this back and upgrade the Logitech. And hopefully the Logitech improvement will be a better view of the leaf and all that kind of stuff. So there's that. Now back to the tour, right? So I'm going to talk about the tour a little bit because I didn't have enough time to focus on what my subject matter was going to be for this week's lesson. Say again?
I got a good topic.
He said he has a good topic, but he won't tell me now. Okay, so we'll do your topic next week. And by the way, if you have a topic, just, put it in the comment below, all right? And I'll be sure to add it in as a topic. So today, for this short time, we'll talk about the tour. So I've been planning this tour for a very long time. Everyone has kept saying to me over the years, you need to come out of hiding, because initially I was just like, it's just me and this leaf, and we just do our thing. And it was kind of like my paintings. There's one hanging there behind the wall, and anywhere you look in this room, like the fireplace, even I stone faced the fireplace. So I didn't build the wood, but I did the painting and the sand. I paint with sand. There's a painting back there. Right there, it's 8 feet tall, goes all the way up to the ceiling. It's upside down, but I painted that one. Everywhere in here there's paintings. So I'm saying that to say that that's the creative side of me, is that I'm always creating something. So when I began doing design on leaf, and actually, incorporating our artistic side of the blending, and okay, so yeah, you have a cigar and that's great, but I couldn't help myself because the artist side of me came out to meet the leaf. And so ever since I started doing that and started doing the vault blends, which used to be exclusively a VIP access thing. Topic for the future: how to pair food with cigars. Oh yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of that on the tour. We're going to be having what we're calling palette pairing parties. Okay. And so we will be pairing. I will be, hone my brain because it's jumping all over the place. So we will be pairing long tables. Okay. So you'll show up at the event and, the table will be set, fine dining side, open air. And your cigars, you'll have 3 cigars, and there'll be a full-on fledged spread of various pairings. So the flight will either be wine, liqueur, some sort of a whiskey or bourbon or cheese or fruits or whatever it is that I've selected for that particular palette pairing party. You'll be able to show up, and those places will be all over the nation. So the idea is that the Rolling Lab will also have a gallery, and those blends that will be galleried will primarily be the vault blends. So the bats and the shoes and the men's shoe too will be in there. So, and What else? The guns, all of the guns, the bullets. What else? Oh my gosh. All the El Jefes, the boss line. Oh my gosh. There's so many I can't hardly think. The kings and queens. All any design that I've ever done that's been a vault blend, the 2 to Tango Golden Clouds, all of them will be on display, gallery style in shadow boxes, hung inside the lab. I'll also roll there, and there'll be a dessert bar there. So pretty much we'll roll up, and we will have, well, our ensuite, which will be on the bus, and then we'll also have a rolling lab in tow. So I won't give you all the details, but it's going to be an amazing experience that you shan't have anywhere else in the world. And I will bring to the table all of my creative force inside of me to create something fantabulous just for you. So, yeah. Whew. It's been a lot of preparation. It's been a lot of dreaming, because I only dreamt because people inspired me to dream. People said, you shouldn't hide this. People said, this is a real gift. I hear it all the time. Even the people who, you know, were trying to take advantage of me. I stopped showing people my cigars because, you know, they're trying to take advantage of me. You're trying to, you know, as soon as you see the stick, you think, oh my gosh, I can charge her $1 million. No, you can't, okay? I practically roll for free. Stop it. Like, stop. Just sell me what I need. So it's like, it's relaxation, but in a creative way that really, really tantalizes and titillates all your senses. That's the idea. If you've never had all your senses awakened through and via the experience of cigar and cigar culture, this will be your moment. This will be the moment to come to the table and have something that will literally speak to and arouse each of your senses. Okay, there'll even be times during the experience where you're blindfolded. So I won't tell you everything that's going to happen because don't want to ruin the whole thing. But the idea is that you will walk away from there with ideas on how to relive that experience. And if you haven't had the secret zones of your senses awakened before or quickened before, this will be the opportunity where that can happen, and that you can say, let's just say it like this, because you know, I'm anchored in sensuality. So let's just say if you've never owed before, you will oh when you leave, okay? So back to my biscotti. Absolutely, there will be the food and beverage and cigar pairings. Every time, I'm making a mess, biscotti will do that. Every time there will be, I'm talking with my mouth food, so rude, so rude. Oh God, that's so good. That's so warm and delightful. Anyway, every time that you come, every time that you join me for this lovely experience, the environment too will be matching the palette, will be matching the table, will be matching the music, will be everything is there to engulf your senses, everything. So I'm so looking forward to these perfect pairings across the nation and finding the farms and the wineries and the cheeseries and you know, the bread factories, and finding all of these wonderful, and the tobacco farms and all these great places where we will meet together and have these amazing experiences in open air. Not just in open air, but in open garden air. Not going to reveal it all, but I have so many wonderful things. And then I'm going to be taking pictures along the way, not just of the sticks, but of your experience. And for those who want to be included in the book, your photo and your experience will be kept in the keepsake of the book that I am preparing. And then some of those are going to be turned into posters. And I'm hoping that some of the lounges will begin to carry the boutique design posters. So many things on the horizon. I have 5 years charted out. So we will be circulating through the entire nation, all of the states, 3 times each within 5 years. Some will be more, but at least 3 times for each major city or capital of each state. So, I'm exhausted just thinking about it again. It's gonna be great. What else did I want to say about the tour? To book a seat, if you want to be able to book a seat or book a reservation, because it's going to be a lot like going to a guest-restaurant experience, or I don't know, for those who knew about Bricks, when I ran Bricks, which was not mobile, it was stationary. Although we did do mobile a little bit when we did the pop-up, we did the mobile boutique bar. But this is on a whole nother level. Like, we are leaving one life behind and just flowing out into the nation's universe, and and really just bringing the experience, the whole heart of Remix to the people. So if you've ever had that experience, and you ever were at Bricks before, then you kind of have an idea. You pay a cover cost, and that cover cost includes your entire experience while you are there. And if you're a VIP member, obviously your cost is probably little to none. So just depending on where we're at. And then if you're not VIP or you're associated with a VIP, then you get the VIP's discount. And then if you're not VIP, then you would pay the guest member rate. All those things will be posted per state as we go along. The first state will chart out the path, and then each year following will repeat the first path. So this is the rockiest year. Just getting ready, making the transition, filling orders. Like, this is the rockiest year in the past 6 years. This is the rockiest year. This is rocky, okay? This is gonna be turbulent. So it's like when your pilot tells you, you know, the light is on, stay in your seat, buckle up, you know, all that kind of stuff. If you get crazy, drop the oxygen mask and breathe. Okay, that's, oh my God, that's what I've been doing. Dropping the oxygen mask and breathing. So, needless to say, oh, this is still so lovely. I hope that when we do these things, that you, like, you know, at some point, have any of you like gone and had any of the pairings that we've had so far? I really, really encourage you. I know, girl, I can't wait till you come. It's gonna be amazing. So I hope that you have had the opportunity to try some of these amazing beverages. Don't be afraid of the pairings. Like, sometimes a pairing will seem like, ew, why would you do that, right? But think about some of the hotels you've been to, and you've had juices. Like, back when they used to make what was it, orange, banana, and something drink. Dole started doing the mixes way back before everybody else started mixing drinks. Dole started mixing beverages.
Orange, banana, and guava.
Well, orange, banana, and guava, strawberry, banana, and guava, like all those different mixes, right? So before, people used to turn their nose up and, who would do that? Oh, gross. Blah, blah, blah. But when you tasted it, right? It was like, oh my God, this is so good. It's amazing. Yeah. So don't doubt me. Don't doubt my palate now. Don't do that. I'm trying to tell you. Don't miss out. Okay. So go back if you haven't. Absolutely. How can I miss California? Like, what? No, I will be coming to the front in the sun. But I don't always like your beaches because your beaches sometimes have chiggers. I'm sorry, but it's true. They have things like little beach lice, and I don't like them. I don't like that part. Like, take me to the beach that does not have the little bitey things. Okay? Yeah. I don't like that in the sand. I don't like that. What? Everything else? Yes. We can get it. Okay? So, you have to do biscotti and frangelico and coffee. You're having that for tea, coffee. It doesn't matter if it's tea or coffee. If you're doing tea, I recommend a chai tea. You could do a chai latte tea and then add your frangelico, have your biscotti. If you can find fresh homemade biscotti at a local Italian eatery or deli, most places, especially up in the Northeast up here, have Little Italy's. You can go there and you'll find an Italian deli. It used to be more prominent where the elders, especially the elder women, would make fresh ravioli, and you would see them if you go into the deli. You would see them making it fresh, and they would also make the fresh pasta, all of the fresh pastas, and then the biscotti and the other little desserts, the Italian cookies, right? So you used to be able to see that, like, it was part of the tradition. It was part of culture. It was something that you looked forward to going in. At least I did when I was younger. I would look forward to going in and just smelling the aroma. You don't find that as much anymore. And I'll tell you a horror story. When I was in middle school, the Italian deli was across the street from the school. And one day at lunchtime, we heard this blood-curdling scream. I mean, it's like when someone dies, you never forget the scream that they wail out. Well, one of the elderly women who was making the raviolis had gotten her hand jammed into the pasta cutter that makes the spaghetti. And then it was an automated machine, and so our hand was just like getting eaten up in the machine. It was horrible. Like the whole story just like went over all of town. Anyways, I don't even know why I told that story. I miss the days, not that part, but I do miss the days when you could go in and get fresh homemade sauce, raviolis, meatballs, biscotti, and other such cookies. Anyways, it must have been something that was, a permanent impression on my mind, and I just had to share it. So, there are other, places that you can go. But today, you pretty much will find that they make it, behind the scenes, not in the public view. I think only some Dunkin' Donuts still make donuts.
Don't get it at Starbucks.
Don't get biscotti at Starbucks. That's not real. Okay? That's made with Bisquick, right? No, I don't know if their biscotti are made with Bisquick, but a lot of the other shit is, okay? Shoot, you got that in your cupboard. Stay home and eat your own. So, anyway, you would think that this is soggy, but it's not, because biscotti is meant to be a dried cookie toast, like a harder cookie. Like sometimes chocolate chip cookies are too hard, and they should have never been that hard, and you could like use those as fake biscotti, kind of like that. But they're meant to be not so chewy, but not really, really hard, like a toasted cookie. And then so when you dip it into the coffee or into your tea, it just absorbs it ever so slightly, and it's not like mush, like it is if you leave it sitting in there and really swirling and then you get cookie at the bottom of your cup. And my dad used to love that. My adopted dad used to love that. But anyways, that's yeah, I don't like that part. So so I dip mine very quickly, and then it just absorbs, and then it makes it soft enough to eat. So try that. Try that at home.
A good cigar.
And a good cigar. Yeah. Now, I would definitely go with your medium blends on this. Do not do a full body blend with this selection. You will just kill the experience. A full body blend when you eat should be done with heavier things. I didn't soak that cookie quite enough. Let me get a little something. Ah, yes. All cleared up now. So a full body blend will taint this experience. It will, like we discussed before about, you know, some leaf will accentuate and some leaf will quench, or like how I had, I think I had coconut and, oh, it was either last week or the week before. I mixed 2 drinks together and they were really sweet. And the blend that I had was a fuller blend, and so it toned down the sugar while leaving the flavor profile, which is the perfect way that you want to do that pairing. And so you'll find that full bodies, when you're having something, and this is medium sweetness, it's not like the last one, which was a lot of sweetness. But the coffee and or the tea will help to tone that sweetness down from the Frangelico. Like I said, it gets, you see the little chrysalis that forms around there, right? That makes the cap hard. I finished the bottle, so that's why the lid's not on it. But anyways, there's a little chrysalis that builds up on here. It's a little sugar. That's a little white that you see, the white ring. So it makes it a little bit difficult. If that ever happens, run it under hot water. It'll help to get the sugar a little dissolved. But in any event, and then you should be able to open it. But in any event, it's sweet, but not sickeningly sweet, not like some of the others might be. So if you use a full body blend with this pairing, you will taste the predominant flavor profile of coffee, but your anise will go away. It will be very subtle. And so will your almond. Your almond will really die down. The hazelnut will almost be extinct. You'll taste some of the sweetness, but it'll be, the flavor itself will get lost in the fullness of that body. So stick with your medium and your milds for this pairing combination. In fact, your milds will keep this pretty much exactly the way that it is, and your mediums will give this a nice little boost, will give this a nice complement. So if I had my druthers and I had the choice between a mild and a medium, my personal preference would be a medium blend, because it will give it just a little bit of a boost. And by boost, I mean it will give the palate a consistent, even, nothing will be gained or lost in the palate profile, in the flavor profile. But in the effect, we talked about affect and effect of cigar smoking. And so in the effect of the experience, you'll get a little bit more of a boost. How I'm gonna say that, yeah. Not that you're gonna lean with it, but you'll get that woosah without killing the flavor profile. Unlike with the full body, you will get the woosah and kill the flavor profile. So that's your difference there. What else was I gonna say? Is there anything you want to know that I haven't said? Because this is going to be a shorter session today, since I I'm late and wrong as usual, but you know, the travel has whipped me. I think I have driven, I have driven, okay, let's just say all day, every day for almost a week. Okay, so I get up and drive, get up and drive, get up and drive. And each day I think this is the last day. This is it. We're going to buy it. I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick up where I left off. And every day it has not been that way. Today, it wasn't that way. So I'm not really like, I'm really hoping that this is going to just come to an end and we can finish it up and move on to the next stage, which is the build out and keep going. You know? But the biggest part of this is this part, because no motor, no journey. Right? No horse, no gallop. It's like you can't get up and go anywhere unless you have your iron horse. Okay. So I am looking for my iron horse that is going to be able to make this vision a reality. So yeah, it's a lot more than I ever anticipated, but it's coming along. You know, we are still acquiring, like other things are coming in because we're pretty much, there'll be times where we're off grid. Like the experience is going to be like, we'll be out there in the middle of nowhere as we're trying to get to our destination. And so those layovers, you know, we have to prepare for those types of layovers and those types of experiences that might mean that we're out in almost the middle of nowhere. So that means cooking, and that means, you know, making sure that our power supplies are up and making sure that our solar connect is up. Like there's so many extra components that is different than a house, you know. We'll be traveling in mostly 70 to 80 degrees, between 65 and 85, 65 and 85. And mostly because, A, that's good for our bodies because the fibromyalgia is real. And secondly, but don't be mistaken, you know, too much humidity can also be bad on the system. But primarily the leaf, okay? So what's good for the leaf is good for my body. Let's just say it that way. So we're kind of like on the same page. Me and the leaf, you know, we can be in the same environment as each other and we'd be great. So to protect the leaf and preserve the leaf and preserve the sticks as we go along, especially the vault blends, that, you know, people will come on board and see what all those are like. So to be able to preserve the leaf, we have to make sure that the environment that we're in at all times is temperature controlled. So that means that our path is going to go in the direction that the weather forecasts indicate is best for us to move, which is why there hasn't been like a huge outlay of where we'll be at all times. Now, if we're booked for an event, like we're booked for several events in July for this tour, and one of those spots is in Chicago. So the temperature there is going to be hotter than we anticipated being there for. So in those types of cases, we'll bounce in, do the event, and bounce out. So if we're specifically booked to show up at a specific place, we won't be staying for, you know, a week to 2 weeks. We'll do the event and leave. So, and we may or may not even announce that we're there because of how short of a window that we will be there. Now, if whoever is hosting the event decides to announce that we're there, that's totally up to them. But so sometimes we'll be staying where we are and sometimes we won't, because you won't be able to catch up to us and be welcome because we'll be doing something for somebody, and that's kind of rude for you to crash their party, right? So, you know, right after the party, we're gone. So we can't like always just say this is where we'll be, because, you know, we know that people will have a hard time resisting the temptation to come and check it out. But we'll be doing live postings, you know, so you'll finally get me out of this seat, and I'll be glad to get out of this seat. Yo, I can't wait to be able to look out the window of where I'm rolling and see a lake or a mountainside, or I wouldn't even mind seeing the desert, but I don't want to stay there. I don't want to stay there. No crashing. stairs. You may crash. Just knock on the door. In fact, don't knock on the door. Ring the bell. If you ring the bell, I'll know it's you. Okay. And all you other people who are watching later, like, forget you. Okay. This is not for you. I'm talking about my VIPs. Okay. I'm gonna write VIP on here because VIPs get special treatment. Okay. So I'm excited about that part. You know, I look forward to that part. And that's part of what's discouraging about each time that the bus that we're going after, because we really are trying to just take a day between, okay, we see this bus, we think this will be a great match for the tour, this will make the project work, it has the torque, it has all this, and then we got to inspect and make sure that it's good to go. Tires and this oil and this leak that and this, that, and the next thing. Oh my God. I leave the list to him. I just go in and do the measurements to make sure my table and my leaf and all the really important things fit. And, you know, I got to make sure my curves can move in there with ease, you know, because ain't nobody trying to squeeze. No, bitch can't be squeezing. I don't like squeezing. I hate squeezing. Makes me feel uncomfortable, like I'm in prison or something. So I am excited to be able to look out the window and roll and be like, oh my God, that's so amazing. I might even find inspiration on what I'm going to design. So I'll be glad to get out from behind this. So you'll be able to see us live. See me live in the lab wherever I am. All right. So long as I have internet, I'll be up. Okay. Can't promise I'll be up all the time, but I'll be up enough. Okay. So see you in the after party. Tanya, after party. We'll lock the door. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see so many of you along the road and be able to have that experience. I know some people, I have, if you're contacting me on Instagram and I have not taken your order, there's a reason for that. There's going to be 2 months where I'm moving. like all this shit is getting packed up and I'm going to be moving my whole life into a travel mode. So I'll be in a travel lodge, a moving lodge. So I'm not going to have the ability to roll for a couple of weeks because the lab will be the last thing to go. But everything else, all the rest of my life is being packed up, put in storage or sold or what have you. And I'm consolidating down to this 5-year life plan. So that's why for some people, if they're coming and they said, oh, well, I went and I Instagrammed her or I Facebooked her and I messaged her or this, that, or the next thing, and I didn't get no response. Well, right now I can't respond because that means if I respond, by the time your queue comes up, I will be in the throes of. So I can't really, I need a little stop gap so that I can then get on the road and resume rolling. No problem. I'm only going to be going 60 to 100 miles each day, if that, on the days when we're actually commuting. And then after that, it will be, little rest periods where I might be a week in a state. I might be 2 weeks in a state. It really just depends on what is booked and where I'll be doing events. So keep your eyes peeled for those types of announcements. What else? Yeah, so if it's cold, like, don't expect to see me. If it's too hot, don't expect to see me. If the weather is around 70-something-ish and you hear I'm in the area, you might expect to see me. But you'll be able to go to the website and, prior to my arrival, a week or two prior, you will be able to see where I'll be. Oh, it is exciting, but God, at this particular stage, it is incredibly demanding, incredibly exhausting. And the checklist is so freaking long because there's so many components and each component, has its own checklist. There is the lab component and, that whole travel palette pairing experience, making sure all the dishes, making sure the bar is set, like making sure everything is equipped for being out in the middle of nowhere and having an exquisite experience. Who gets to go out into the desert and have an exquisite fucking experience, smoking cigars with amazing fucking sunsets and fire pits and shit? Like, that's what I want to bring. I want to bring this just envelop your senses with so much pleasure and joy, and something that you'll want to experience again. And even if it means you go home and try to relive that experience and redo that experience in some small way for yourself. And then there is the actual ensuite part, which is, you know, how I will be able to do my print work, how I'll be able to do the photo work, how I'll be able to lay out the book, sleep, eat, fuck, you know, all that good stuff. So there's that life. And then, you know, I have to plan Airbnb stays, so that there are times where I can actually check in. I don't like hotels. I have used them. I've stayed in them for so long. If I see another hotel, oh, that's part of why I really needed a space of my own. There was a time I was 180 days in a hotel, 180 days. It was ridiculous. Like, at some point you just have to be like, one hotel after another. It's not the life. Okay. It's not the life for me. Maybe it is for some people that they like that kind of a lifestyle. I don't like that kind of a lifestyle. I like the homey environment. I like that home feeling, that home setting, even if it's not my own home. So I choose Airbnb, okay? I do. That's my way. So I like to go in there and have fresh fucking linens that I can trust have no bed bugs, you know, and I don't have to worry about staff and knocking on my door. Like, there's so much extra shit that I don't have to worry about when I do Airbnb. I love that shit, you know? I can go make my own coffee, have a drink. They always give me nice drinks. Like, it's great. I love it. They always provide soap. Like, they provide wonderful things. Airbnb, okay? And it's affordable, okay? It's not like I've stayed at mansions. I've stayed in all kinds of places. Affordable, okay? So if you don't Airbnb, get about that life. It's fabulous, fabulous. So between Airbnb and being stuck out in the middle of nowhere and having a place to stay, then, you know, there's organizing that. And then there is making sure that the orders keep moving, right? So yeah, that is a lot. This is the biggest juggle of things that I've ever had to do. And I have 5 adult children. 5. So this is a lot of juggling. Okay. And I've juggled a lot. So anyways, that's it for this week. Babe, what did you say that we were going to do next week? You said your topic was what? What do you want to talk about? That's not
the difference between the cigars you buy, if they say they're Dominican or Nicaraguan, that kind of thing, and what you get. The difference between the natural leaf that you roll and what you buy in the store, like these Nicaraguans that we're enjoying right now.
Yes.
Close to the Nicaraguans.
Right. You're talking about grade, right? You're talking about the grade of leaf. So he wanted to talk about how you can get a Nicaraguan blend, for example, from your retail store, your retail outlet, or your local lounge, wherever you go, or that you're loyal to. You might get a Nicaraguan, and you might get another company's Nicaraguan, and you might not really care for Nicaraguan and be surprised that a particular blend that you have is Nicaraguan. And a lot of times it really is the grade of the leaf that they're using. So there are various grades, and obviously he wanted this to be a subject matter, so I won't talk about it right now, but those grades will make the difference between the flavor strength. So you might have a Nicaraguan. Nicaraguans tend to be a little bit on the perfumey side, a little more on the floral, a little more on the floral, a little more floral side. They tend to be that way. And so when you get a stick that isn't that way, you're like, wow, I can't even believe that this is a Nicaraguan. Well, you have some Nicaraguans that there's a reduction in that floral, and I'll explain to you how and why in another subject matter, but in another session. But the session that I had planned for today, which I will maybe combine with that one, is this session that will talk about ring gauge and volume of leaf. Okay, so how you get the same number of leaves. Okay, so you know Remix does 7 varietals, but that doesn't mean that there's 7 leaves inside. It means that there's 7 different types of leaves inside, but there might be 2 or 3 of one type and 1 of another and 4 of another. And so you might actually have like 10 or 12 leaves in total inside with your 7 varietals, right? So how do you get those same 12 leaves to be 54 gauge and those same 12 leaves to be 60 ring gauge? Okay, so a lot of people in the retail world will do that. In my case, in Remix world, we don't do that. If we need more RG, we actually add more leaf. But I will demonstrate to you how a tighter pack will yield a smaller gauge and a lighter pack will yield a larger gauge. So you're not buying more tobacco. You're buying the same amount of tobacco for a different price, because I'm sure you're aware that there's a different price point in the gauge size. So I'll go over that maybe in conjunction with the topic that he would like to talk about and demonstrate that to you so that you can see for yourself how that is done. And you still, and I'll draw them all so that you can see that, you know, they all still draw. And then do the Remix version so that you kind of get an idea of how it's done here at Remix. So here you actually get more tobacco. So subject matter for the next time. Love you guys. Thanks for joining me. Us. Let me ring the bell. Our session is over. Till next time, okay? Long leaf life to ya.
Subscribe.
Oh yeah, like, subscribe, all that stuff that I'm supposed to say, right? Follow, like, subscribe, share. Okay. Bye.